Hey guys, so I'm Peter Hurley and you're in my studio and I have a ton of light modifiers behind me because I am doing this tutorial to show you how to mold the face with light. This is all about shaping the face and seeing what we can do. You might know me for my headshot work. I've shot actors for 12 years on a white background. I use a simple KinoFlow mixed strobe setup, which we're gonna go over in this video as well. But I also shoot celebrity portraits and a ton of other stuff. And when I'm out on location or I'm in the studio and I want a different look to my light, I'm using strobes, guys. And I'm using modifiers and I'm mixing it up and I'm getting in there and I'm watching exactly what it's doing to the face. So we're gonna give you answers for why this modifier does something, then this modifier, then that modifier. And we're gonna compare it all and you're gonna learn from this. You're gonna be able to know exactly what lighting is doing to the human face. Guys, all of my career, the light on the face has always been the most important thing. Yes, I shoot portraits and I worry about the body, and if I'm shooting fashion stuff, I worry about the clothes, but it's really all about lighting the face for me. So in this tutorial, we are gonna go and run the gamut of lighting. We're gonna go into soft light, we're gonna go into hard light, we're gonna go into where the shadows are, when you wanna fill them, how you wanna fill them. We're gonna go how to accentuate cheekbones and jaw lines and all this kind of stuff that's really imperative that you get into your shots when you're taking pictures of the face. Have you ever looked through magazines and seen images and you'd be like, I wonder how they do that? We're gonna start to demystify that a little bit for you and give you a sense of why images look the way they do and what could be going on in that image. So you're gonna be able to deconstruct them and recreate something similar in your own way. Guys, this is not a tutorial on camera settings. If I say I'm stopping down, I'm not gonna tell you I'm stopping down from 11 to f16. I wanna say I'm stopping down, you know I'm gonna be stopping down. If I'm shooting strobe, I'm gonna go for a low ISO. If I'm shooting the Kinos or continuous light, I might raise my ISO a little bit. That's about it. You don't really need to know much more. Even if I gave you every single measurement, which would be tedious and ridiculous, and for you to try and match it up in your studio would be darn near impossible, you're not gonna get the same shots that I got. It's gonna be different. You're gonna have to build this awareness on your own and actually see light as it hits your subject's face. You don't need a light meter to do it, you need an eye and an awareness. Over the course of this tutorial, you're gonna develop a basic understanding of light that is gonna allow you to light any face in any situation and have control and do it the way that you wanna do it, so it becomes your light. So guys, as we go through this, we're going light by light, modifier by modifier. We're keeping the model straight, looking straight into the camera and watching what the light does specifically on their face. I'm not worried about direction at this point. I'm not going for a final image. I'm simply going for the light and learning what the light's doing over each of their faces. At the end, we're gonna go ballistic and we're gonna go into trying to get some shots for my portfolio and for the models' portfolios for whatever they would want to use, and really get down to the nitty-gritty and make sure I've got everything from styling, hair, makeup, expression, and my direction right on. Let's talk about the lighting for this video. I don't want you to think you have to go out and buy tons of expensive gear, but for this video, we decided to stick with one manufacturer, and ProPhoto has been the industry standard for pros for a while. I happen to use it and like it, so that's why we used it. This is my D1 head. The thing that really works for us, and in the very beginning and throughout the beginning of the tutorial, we shoot with the modeling lights. The reason why? Proportional. Look at this. So I can adjust the modeling light proportionally to the stop that I'm on, which gives us a really good visual of what we're doing. So in the beginning of the tutorial, I am showing you everything with a live view video feed with the modeling light, and I'm actually shooting modeling light. Light behaves as light. When the strobe goes off, we're gonna get the same effect as we get with the modeling lights. We just got a color temperature difference, and when I do the portfolio shots at the end, you're gonna see we're gonna be working with the strobe. But for most of it, we're adjusting, fine-tuning the modeling light proportionally with this system. So once we've taught you all the basics, we will be using this power pack, which is a cute 2R 2400 pack that I bought this in like 2001. It was the first big pack that I owned, and we'll use it to fire off the ring flash because the ring flash doesn't fit into a D1 head, so you need a power pack for that. So everything else pretty much fits on the D1s, and we'll be using those for our modifiers and light shaping. So the important takeaway from this is light is light. You may have a similar flash system. You know, this thing goes off and, you know, it's a big flash of light. You know, if you have something that does that, you're good. Okay, guys, here we go. I know you're tired of listening to me talk. Let's get down to the nitty gritty and learn the basics of lighting the face. All right, guys, so we're gonna talk about how to fire these bad boys whenever you wanna hit the trigger. So, easiest way, cable, right into the unit, into your camera, boom, you shoot it, goes off. Not good, not wonderful. You got a cable running around, it falls out, you're gonna miss shots, it's annoying. So what they come up with? They came up with radio transmitters. So one popular one is a pocket wizard. So I take one of these units, I plug it into the Profoto D1 head, and I've got this one hanging off the head, and I've got this one going on my camera, and voila, there we go, we have light. Now, I've got one light firing, right? Let's say I have multiple heads and I want to fire them all. How am I going to do that? Well, most flashes have the ability to go into a slave mode. So we put this sucker on slave mode, and now I hit this, it's going to turn that off, and it's going to give, well, look at that. It went right off at the same time. Holy smokes. It's simply this. This gets triggered when that one fires, and it's so fast that we don't even notice it by our eye, and the camera can't pick it up. So they fire at exactly the same time to get the same result. Watch this. You press this one goes off, immediately that one goes off. We're in business. So you do not have to have a ton of these. You need to have one transmitter, one receiver. You hook it into the light, and the rest of the lights can be in slave mode, and boom, they all go off together. Not a problem. All right, so we've got a sync cord. We've got pocket wizards. But the pocket wizards, there's one downfall to them. They can fire the light, but that's about all they can do. Profoto has the air remote. The air remote has the ability to fire the light and also control it. I'm lazy. Guess what I like? I like my air remote. Why? Because I can adjust the power right here. And if I hold it down, it goes down one stop. If I hit it each time, it goes down in increments of 10th stops, and boom, I can fire just like that. So I usually use the Profoto air remote with my D1s. The really nice thing about this is that the receiver's built in over here. I don't have an extra set of batteries or something. I got batteries in this thing. I don't have to go, if it's really high, I don't have to adjust anything. I can do it all from right here. The end result is the same. The flash is gonna go off when you press the shutter. You just have to figure out what's the best for you. Sync cord, pocket wizards, air remote. All right, we're gonna talk about flash sync speed, guys. And this was a major issue for me when I first picked up a camera. I didn't have a clue. I was getting this black line through all my pictures. A lot of my pictures came out black completely for like the first 2 months I was shooting. I remember I was like in a park, in Central Park with some lights, and I was shooting them. I didn't know why I was getting this black line through my pictures. Flash sync, guys. You gotta know it for your camera. So this is a Canon 5D Mark III. And the sync speed on this is 1/200th of a second. So if you go faster than that, you're gonna get this weird black line in the bottom of your pictures. You don't want that. Stop doing that. Like, just go slower shutter speeds. What I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna shoot at the sync speed that's rated for this camera, the maximum speed I'm supposed to shoot at, which is 1/200th of a second. And we're gonna take a shot. We're just gonna shoot this Profoto head as it strobes against the background. We are using the Air 1 remote, and we're shooting, and we've got a nice clear picture of the strobe hitting the background, clean and simple. Now, let's say I just don't know about sync speed of the camera. I don't have a clue. And I'm just gonna go up to a 2/50th of a second, and I'm gonna take the same picture. All right, I look at the back of my camera, and for some reason, something strange happened. There's a little bit of a black line. I'm missing part of the frame. There's a black line at the bottom of the frame. Not cool. It's just not cool. Let's go up even faster now. Let's just see. As you realize, I'm at 3/20th of a second. Here we go. Oh my gosh, now it's almost halfway up the screen. We'll go to 1/500th. And we're like 3/4 of the way blocked. We're getting black everywhere. This is crazy. This is just something that you need to know. It's something I didn't know when I first started. I found out, and I never messed it up again. What's happening is that there's a curtain in here, and there's a speed that it can get out of the way of the sensor. So if you go over that maximum shutter speed, what's gonna happen? The curtain's not gonna get out of the way in time, and it's gonna cast a shadow on your sensor. And you're gonna get this black line, and you might not know why it's there. I didn't know, but now you know. What you really wanna do is just keep this puppy at the maximum sync speed, because you're not really gonna gain anything from going any lower unless you're mixing in some other sources. But otherwise, just keep it at where it's rated, keep it easy on yourself, let it go that way. Guys, if you don't know the sync speed of your camera, just Google it, you're gonna find it. This one, I just Googled it, it's 1/200th of a second, or I could have tested it. I just go up until I see the black curtain, and I go back one, and that's usually where the sync speed's gonna be. So most of you guys, this is simple. You probably know this. Like, if you shoot strobes all the time, it's a piece of cake. You know where you're at. But for me, when I first started, it took me like 3 or 4 months to figure this thing out for some reason, and that's why I'm talking about it today. I want everybody to be aware of it and never have to deal with that issue again. Guys, now we're gonna talk about the inverse square law. So what is it? It's basically light fall off. I love light fall off. I'm crazy about it. I use it every day. I need to know about the inverse square law. But do I need to think about the fractions and the mathematics behind it? No, I need to know the concept. So here it is for you. We got a Profoto D1 right here. It's blasting light at me, no modifier on it, and it's shooting light across this paper. We're gonna put a tape measure up. We're gonna measure 1 foot increments down this paper, and we're gonna measure the light source as it falls off. All right, you got that under control? Yep. Here we go. We got 1 foot right here. We got 2